Welcome, hello, and hello, everybody. Today, our lesson 2 in Unit 2, Accompanied Forces to Motion. Accompanied Forces to Motion. What's the meaning of accompanied forces to motion? To explain or discuss this lesson, firstly, there is a special definition of inertia. What is the meaning of inertia? To explain or to simplify the meaning of inertia, when a force acts on an object in the resting state or in a moving state with a constant speed. Every object tries to resist this change in their motion. Why? Because the effect of inertia. Again, or imagine with me an object in a state of resting or in a state of motion. When in a force effect on it, it trying to keep state of resting or keep state of motion. To explain it, imagine with me passengers and driver in the vehicle rushed forward. Why? When bus stop suddenly. Why? Because the passenger or driver as an object try to maintain their state of motion with the same speed of the bus, so they rush forward when the bus stops suddenly. The second example, passengers and driver in the vehicle rushed backward when bus start to move. Why? Because the passengers and the driver in this example try to keep their state of resting, so they rushed backward as effect of inertia. The third example, football players in the football match rushed forward and fall on the ground of if he tripped during running, because the football player tried to maintain the state of motion for forward, so he will force it forward and fall down. So we can get a definition of inertia as it is the property of an object has to resist the change of its phase from rest to motion with regular speed in a straight line, unless an external force acted on it. Again, it is the property of an object has to resist the change of its phase from rest to motion with regular speed in a straight line, unless an external force acted on it. Activity number 1, when carry small cubes on your palm and stretch your arm forward, when walking fast and you will stop suddenly, these cubes have the same speed as your speed. And when you stop suddenly, the cubes moving forward. Why it moved forward? Because these cubes try to keep the state of motion with the same speed of you, but when you stop suddenly, it will be moving forward. So force it forward and fall on the ground due to the force or the effect of inertia. Activity number 2. When you put a piece of a construction paper on the top of the glass cup and put a coin above it. When you hit this paper with your forefinger, paper will go away as the effect of pulling it with your finger from the cube, and the coin will fall inside the cup. Why? Because the coin cannot match with your rabbit head due to its inertia. It tries to keep the state of resting, but as an effect of inertia, it will fall down into the cup of water. There is some technological application on force of inertia. The simple or daily technological application too of inertia is using the safety belt in cars and plane. Why we use it to prevent passengers from being injured when sudden change in motion occur, as in the start of moving the car or the plane, or even when you stop suddenly. The belt help you to prevent any injury to the passengers or to the driver. Secondly, force is the friction. What is the friction? When an object moves through air or water, it faces frictional or resistance force which try to prevent its motion. Again, when any object try to move in air or in water, there is a special force or a fractional force or a resistance force try to resist or prevent its motion. For example, place an ice cube and a rubber cube on a table. Give push for both of them. Ice cube, you will observe that ice cube will move easily, but the rubber cube move with difficulty to move. Why? Because this force is a fractional force which resists the movement of this object. So we can conclude that the friction force, it is the resistance force against motion originate between the object in the motion and the medium touching it. So the origin of this friction force between the object and in motion and the medium which touching this object. For to simplify it, brakes and a moving car or a bike, the force which will generate between the brake and the tire of the car or the tire of the car to stop it is the friction force. Conclusion: friction between the object in motion with the ground, air, or surrounding medium generates the force which is the fractional force or resistance force against the motion to resist it. There is some benefit of friction. Firstly, it prevents feet from spilling on roads during walking. Secondly, it helps us in stopping cars' motion due to the friction between the brakes and the car tires, as we discussed in the previous activity. Thirdly, it helps in starting cars' motion due to the friction between cars' tires and the ground. Fourth, it helps in burning of the match. And in another hand, there is some harms of friction. Firstly, it causes great loss of mechanical energy or kinetic energy because this energy change into heat energy. And it will produce heat energy which may cause expansion of these parts and affect in this performance the performance of these parts. Thirdly, it causes erosion for machine parts and damage them. So, how can we limit this friction force? By using lubricating and oiling mechanical machines, for example, the oil which used in the car engine. Third, inside the living system. There is a force inside our living system. Simple systems such as a unicellular organism and complex systems such as multicellular organisms. These forces enable organisms to do its biological and vital operation. For examples, heart muscles contraction and relaxation. It help us or helps the heart to pump the blood all over the body. Liquids which transport through pores and moles of cells from the lower concentration to the higher concentration. It helps water and salts to go up from the soil to the upper part of the plant. Thirdly, the contraction and relaxation of the muscles inside your body, it helps the body organs for the movement. Thank you for listening this lesson. You are welcomed any time to ask us to ask about anything. Thank you.